Why, hello there. I'm Sin. We are in the Book Nook, and today we're going to talk about my past, present, and future of books. What I've just finished, what I'm in the middle of, and what we're going to get into. So, let's talk about some bookish things and weird stuff. Also, if you've ever wanted one of these shirts, I'll have a link down below to where you can check those out. All right, so recently I picked up the Restaurant of Lost Recipes, and that's by Hasashi Kashiwai. This is the second book in the Kamigawa Food Detectives, do I call it Chronicles series. It focuses on this restaurant called the Kamigawa Diner, and it is a father-daughter team, and they track down recipes for people. And these recipes usually come attached with like a memory of a place and a time or a person or something along those lines. And it usually just means a lot to the person, this dish. And it's anything from like fried rice to Christmas cake to hamburger steak. Like, it's not just like a specific cuisine, it's like all over the world type of cuisines. And so they'll go ahead and they'll track these recipes down and try to get them as close as possible, and then kind of like walk the people through the memory and try to have things that'll like trigger that memory to take them to that place and that time. And it's just a sweet little book. The food descriptions made me so hungry while reading it because it sounds absolutely delicious. If you're looking for some light reading that's not too intense, it was a good book. Currently, I am in the middle of Chuck Wendig's newest book. This is the first Chuck Wendig book I've ever read. It's The Staircase in the Middle of the Woods. Holy bananas. I am loving it so far, and I don't know why I waited so long to read this author, but I don't know. Why didn't no one tell me? Why are they like, you need to read Chuck Wendig? Do you not know? So there was this group of friends when they were teenagers. They used to go out and go camping all the time, go into the woods, and they would party and do their thing and whatnot. One time they had gone camping and they discover this, as the title of the book, this staircase in the middle of the woods. And their friend Maddie decides he's going to climb it, climbs to the top, and then he goes to jump off of it, but then he like disappears. And so this guy's been missing for, I think it's been like 20 years since this happened. Everyone has grown up, they've gone their different directions, this, that, and the other. But then one of their friends is dying and he calls them all back together, and they go out into the woods and they might just find another staircase in the woods. And it's going to have them have to come to terms with dealing with all the emotional things that they did not deal with when their friend went missing. It's pretty awesome so far. I absolutely love it. So it's in the woods, which I love. I love horror in the woods. At least it starts out in the woods until it goes to a very strange place. And I'm about halfway in right now. It's pretty wild. It's got a little bit of that like House of Leaves vibe in there, but it's not like, it's not torturous to read like House of Leaves is torturous to read. This is an enjoyable read. So I'm excited to get more into this tonight because I'll be reading more of that tonight, and I'm excited to see what you guys think when it comes out. It comes out, I want to say it's like April 29th is when it releases, so I will have a standalone review for this closer to the date of release. So maybe like a week out from when it's supposed to come out. Have you guys read Chuck Wendig? And also, do you have a favorite of his? So, picked up some other books from the library, so let's tell you about those. First up, we have Victorian Psycho by Virginia Fito. I literally don't know what this is about. I just kept seeing it everywhere on social media, and I keep hearing about it. And it's a novella, so short and sweet. Let's tell you about it. Simmering with rage, propulsive, and laugh out loud funny, Victorian Psycho speaks profoundly of horror both within and without. Winifred Naughty arrives at Enzer House prepared to play the perfect governess. She'll dutifully tutor her charges, Drusilla and Andrew, tell them bedtime stories, and only joke about eating children. You don't joke about eating children, that freaks them out. Where is this going? But long, listless days spent within the estate's dreary confines come with an intimate knowledge of the perversions and pathetic preoccupations of the Pounds family. Mr. Pounds can't keep his eyes off of Winifred's chest, and Mrs. Pounds takes a sickly pleasure in punishing Winifred for her husband's wandering gaze. Compounded with her disdain for the entitled Pounds children, Winifred finds herself struggling at every turn to stifle the violent compulsions of her past. French tutoring and needlework are one way to pass the time, as is admiring the ugly portraits in the gallery and creeping across the moonlit lawns. Patience. Winifred must have patience, for Christmas is coming. And she has very special gifts planned for the dear souls of Enzer House, brimming with sardonic wit and culminating in a shocking conclusion. Some tells me that Winifred's gonna snap and maybe she'll eat the kids. I don't know. I don't know. I mean, when you joke about it, maybe she's only half joking. I don't know. Guess I'll find out. All right, so next up, we have Immortal by Sue Lin Tan, and I swear to God, this author always has like the most beautiful book covers. Like, how freaking pretty is that? So I loved the duology that was Daughter of the Moon Goddess, and the second one was like Heart of the Sun Warrior. Awesome. Super magical, lovely, and I love the way that Sue Lin Tan writes. So I had to read a new book by her. This one, let's tell you about it. As the heir to Tiansha, I don't know if I'm saying that right, so please forgive me if that's wrong. And if I pronounce any of these names wrong, I also apologize. I do not know. Lien must ascend the throne and renew Kingdom's pledge to serve the immortals who once protected them from a vicious enemy. But when she is poisoned, Lien's grandfather steals an enchanted lotus to save her life. Enraged at his betrayal, the immortal queen commands the powerful god of war to attack Tiansha. Upon her grandfather's death, Lien ascends a precarious throne, vowing to end her kingdom's obligation to the immortals. When she is summoned to the immortal realm, she seizes the opportunity to learn their secrets and to form a tenuous alliance to safeguard her people, all with the one she should fear and mistrust the most, the ruthless god of war. As they are drawn together, a treacherous attraction ignites between them, one she has to resist, and to not endanger all that she is fighting for. Yet, with darker forces closing in around them and her kingdom plunged into peril, Lien must risk everything to save her people from an unspeakable fate, even if it means forging a dangerous bond with the immortal, even if it means losing her heart. I believe that's a romantasy. It doesn't say it's romance, it says fantasy, but it kind of sounds like a romantasy. So, forbidden attraction to the person who's like kind of your enemy. So we'll see how that is. Like I said, I really love Daughter of the Moon Goddess, so I'm pretty sure I'll enjoy that one. All right, and because I love witchy books, I got to The Witches of El Paso by Luis Jaramillo. All right, so let's tell you about this one. Magic, motherhood, and music of the coven. Something's amiss in modern-day El Paso, where the lines that separate reality and the supernatural seem to be blurring at an alarming rate, and one family is about to find themselves at a border that may be too dangerous to cross. Ambitious attorney Marta knows where real power lives in this world, in money and blood. Her work as a lawyer has underscored this sober reality, a contrast to the colorful stories her great-aunt Nina spins about La Vista, the magical gift Nina claims they both share. As Marta balances the care of her quirky 93-year-old tia Nina with motherhood and her struggling legal aid practice, she discovers that Nina had a daughter she abandoned in the past, and they must work together to find a way back to her. Back in 1943, 18-year-old Nina yearns for a life of adventure that extends beyond caring for her sister's children and worrying about her increasing premonitions and fainting spells. When the mysterious Sister Benedicta arrives at her doorstep and beckons her across the desert, Nina jumps at the opportunity to escape her reality. She follows Sister Benedicta through a doorway in time, transporting her to El Paso, Texas, to colonial Mexico. As Nina blossoms into her own power and falls in love, she discovers that magic comes at a price, as it always does, and it will take many years to even the score. I thought that sounded quite interesting. I love witchy books, so definitely looking forward to reading The Witches of El Paso. I am super excited to read more of The Staircase in the Woods. That book grabbed me like right away, immediately, just into the story. It's one that, like, it's a page turner. I didn't want to put it down. I honestly could have just kept reading it. But I was like, I gotta make some videos, so here we are. So yeah, that is what I'm gonna be doing later this evening. Of the 3 library books I got, I think I'm most excited about the Victorian Psycho one, just because I've been seeing it everywhere, and Seems like people really dig it. So excited for that, and it's a shorty. We'll be reading that one very soon. And if you enjoy videos where I talk about multiple books I am reading or have read, the next video coming up will be about that. So stick around, check it out. And if you enjoyed hanging out today, hit that subscribe button, come back, see me again, and we'll talk about more bookish things and weird stuff.